were even formed in the womb, I knew you. So your story has already been written. Everything has already been destined. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Emmanuel. I post content about fashion and anything self-improvement. I wanted to come on here and talk to y'all because this has been on my spirit and I just wanted to share with you guys. So I'm gonna be talking, but I'm also driving. So I'm focused on the road, but I'm gonna make sure you guys get this message. I believe success requires a healthy balance of delusion. Me personally, I've always been an extremely ambitious person, but I've always had doubt though. Meaning I was ambitious about things, but I was extremely doubtful. It wasn't until recently that I realized that what you think up here is what eventually becomes your reality. The Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. Whatever you got going on out here, or whatever you're speaking and you're spewing out of your mouth, this will be your reality. Just like the Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. The Bible also says there's life and death in the tongue, meaning you could either speak life or you could speak death coming out your mouth. I've had someone really make it apparent to me, like make it clear to me that I'm so ambitious, I have all this potential, or they could see all these great things in me, but you don't even see it yourself. Like they were telling me that I don't even see it myself, and that I'm settling, or I'm aiming too low. What I learned from them was that what you're thinking is extremely important. What you say is also extremely important. But when you believe a God that is so vast, so big, so supernatural, there's no way that your goals, there's no way that the things that you want out of life, and there's no way that the stuff that you believe could be like baseline. When you're striving for something, when you're thinking about your goals, when you're thinking about setting something that you want to achieve, and hear me clearly, because I know a lot of you guys could relate to this. There's a bar that you want to reach, right? There's a bar that you want to reach that you're like, okay, cool. I want to reach 100K subscribers. But because you have 0, you have the enemy in your mind telling you that, telling you 100K is impossible. So only strive to get 10K. Or you want to make 6 figures, and because you're only making 30,000 a year now, you think it's so crazy to think that you could reach 6 figures by the end of the year, or 6 figures in 2 years. So you're like, well, let me just try to go for 50,000. It's important to understand when I say a healthy balance. Some of us have ideas, some of us have plans, some of us have goals that are so far, they're so far from where you are. It's not a healthy balance. And the reason why it's not a healthy balance is because the work that you put in does not equate to the goal that you want to reach. When you're thinking about your goals, you want to shoot for the stars and land on the moon. You want to shoot way past to the point where people think it's impossible. Not you, but people think it's impossible for you to go that far. The thing is, even if you do not reach the stars, at least you'll land on the moon, and landing on the moon is still crazy. And this is very important for those that believe in God. God is beyond understanding. God is beyond our mind. God is beyond this universe. So therefore, if you believe a God that is so colossal, like his miracles and his blessings are unexplainable. If you believe in this God, right, there's no way standard for you is so low. So you got to have a little bit of delusion. And the delusion comes from when you're believing, even if it sounds crazy, You have to still actually believe it. And this only works if you truly believe it in your heart. And this is also important, why it's so important that you do not share your goals and the things that you want to achieve in this life with everyone, because not everybody has the same level of faith as you. Not everyone worships the same God as you. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in the God of this universe. People's faith level is not the same as yours. So you have to really be careful who you're sharing these things with, because just like I said earlier on this video, there's life and death in the tongue. Meaning you share your goals with someone that is extremely negative and doubtful, and someone that doesn't even believe in God. You're like, man, bro, I'm going to get a car by the end of this year. And you don't have no money, no job. And they hit you with the, man, you ain't getting no car. Now you done allow this person to speak negatively on your blessings, on your goals. You done invited this negative energy and this negative spirit in your life. You have to be extremely cautious. You have to be very specific about who and what you share with people. So again, success requires a little bit of delusion. Probably been longer than 2 years ago. Like this car that I'm driving right now, I've had this car for about 2 years. But prior to having this car, I'll tell you guys what happened. When I first got out of high school, I bought a brand new car. I had a nice car. I mean, I had a very nice, well-paying job. So I bought a brand new car. At the time, it was like 2018, 2019. So whatever the current year or the newest model of a Hyundai Sonata Sport, I bought it. And fast forward, I ended up losing the job and the car got repoed. It was one of the lowest points of my life. I don't want to make it seem like it was just because of the car, but that played a big factor, and it was very embarrassing. I don't know if any of you guys have ever experienced something like that. Having your car repoed, taken, it's embarrassing. I got the car taken, I lost my job. I had no money coming in. I remember my mother allowing me to use her van so I could go around and like do Uber Eats. And there's this app called Roadie that's still around. And you would just, it's almost like Uber Eats and stuff, but you would just pick up packages from people's houses and deliver them somewhere, or like Home Depot, stuff like that. So I was hustling, making $10, $20 here, probably making like $30 a day doing that. I had no concrete job, and this was leading into the pandemic and whatnot. And I just remember, as I started getting my life together and I started focusing on God, I wrote down, okay, cool, I'm gonna buy a brand new car by this time. So fast forward, I ended up getting a job at Publix, and I ended up working at Men's Warehouse and stuff. I was hustling. I'm gonna be honest, throughout that whole time, I barely saved any money for that car. I barely saved any money for that car. And I couldn't take out a loan because my car got repoed, so my credit score was extremely low. I remember someone from my church, they ended up blessing me with a car that they were saving for their son, but their son hadn't been driving yet. So he didn't need the car. So they basically told me, like, you could drive this car as long as you like. All you gotta do is put gas in it, take care of the maintenance. So they paid the insurance on the car and whatever else, that other payments that they were making in the car. All I had to do was put gas in the car. And when I tell you guys, I had this car for well over 2 years because it was taking me so long to save the money and stuff like that. So bad credit score, no money. I had a job, but I still wasn't saving no money. The job wasn't that crazy. I wrote it down though, and I believed that I was gonna get the car. So fast forward, I end up one day just going to the bank. Mind you, my credit score had not been like, it improved, but it still wasn't that great. It still wasn't that great. And I was so embarrassed about that stuff that I never checked it weekly or whatnot. I never checked it like that. I wasn't even really working on it, but it improved a little bit because some time had passed. And I just remember going to the bank and I'm like, man, I'm finna just try to see if I could get a pre-approval for like a nice little car. And I wasn't even supposed to go to the bank that day. I literally was on my way home and man, like I swear, I just made a turn towards the bank. So I go to the bank and I'm sitting at the bank. I'm anxious because I'm like, man, I'm applying for this thing and I'm not even about to get approved for it, right? Boom, fast forward, I'm at the bank for hours because it was just taking so long for them to approve me. Bro, they approved me for the car. My credit score wasn't that great. I didn't have no money saved. I remember going to the bank. Not only did they pre-approve me, I did not have to put no money down. $0 down. I got the car a little bit after the date that I initially wrote, but it's the fact that I wrote it down and I believed and it came into fruition. I remember I was just constantly telling myself and telling other people that, yeah, I'm about to get a car. But I had no plan, no concrete evidence on how I was gonna get that car. To some, I would be delusional. People would call you delusional. Success requires a healthy balance of delusion. You have to have some sense of delusion in order for you to make things happen in this life. God is too great for you to be settling, for you to be aiming so low. Shoot for the stars, aim for the moon. People will call you crazy. People will call you delusional. You think you're gonna graduate and your GPA is low. People will call you delusional because you say you're gonna be the next president, or you're gonna buy $1 million house, or you're gonna be the first millionaire in your family, or you're gonna go to college. Whatever it is that you want in this life, whatever it is, shoot even higher. If your goal is to get a Honda, man, shoot for a nicer car. Because at the end of the day, whether you get what you're thinking of or not, you're still gonna land on the moon. Shoot for the stars, land for the moon. I'm telling you, people will tell you that you are crazy. People that will tell you that you are insane. Later on sometime, I'm gonna share with you guys the things that I wrote down this year that I wanted to achieve. And I promise you, you guys will be amazed to see what I wrote down and how they had end up happening. And I promise you, it's crazy because I'm gonna be completely transparent with you guys. Even some of the stuff that I did write down, I did not even have that much faith. I didn't even really believe like that. It wasn't until someone spoke life to me and explained to me how my mind and the things that I was saying was hurting my blessings. I didn't even have that much faith. In the way the Lord has just absolutely blown my mind this year, like I am in awe of God. You have to be delusional to a certain extent. You don't think people were thinking Jesus was delusional when he was walking around preaching the gospel and telling people that he was going to die? You don't think people thought he was crazy? Everything that it is that you desire in this life has already been written. The Bible says, when you were before you were even formed in the womb, I knew you. So your story has already been written. Everything has already been destined. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. Everything will happen to you when it needs to happen, if it is in the will and the purpose of God. But you have to have a level of delusion. You have to believe wholeheartedly with your heart. Don't just say stuff. Don't just write things down. Write it down because you believe it. And constantly think about it. Keep it in your mind. People gonna think you crazy. I know people thought I was crazy when I first started posting on social media. I know people thought I was crazy. You know how everyone has like a little success story of like people doubting them? I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I had people doubting me. I didn't have no one come to me like explicitly and tell me like, oh, you're not gonna be shit. I didn't have people telling me that. But you know them little slick remarks that people make about you. You know how that go. You know how when you tell someone something, you share something, and they kind of hit you with the, oh, all right. I know no one believed in me when I said I was going to be getting paid thousands of dollars to wear stuff, to model, to talk, to make a video. Like, I know people did not believe that. I was making videos and I was writing down that they were paid partnerships before they were even paid partnerships. Not because I wanted to cap, not because I wanted to act like I was somewhere that I wasn't, but because I wanted to see, I wanted to feel what that was like to actually get paid to make a post. I'm telling you, there would be brands that were sending me stuff back in 2018. And back then, when they would just send you stuff and not pay for it and expect you to post it, I would still post the videos. I would still make content with the stuff as if I was getting paid for it. And I would for sure put that paid partnership. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I would still put that. I wasn't even getting paid. It was years that I wasn't even getting paid. Man, I believed from the start. I believed from the start. And my faith wasn't even that strong then. The Bible says all you got to do is have faith as small as a mustard seed. I don't even think back then I had that type of faith. But I'm telling you, it's a level of delusion that you have to have. And I promise you, people will see. And now I'm cashing out checks to make a 10-second video that's more than I'm actually even getting paid at my job. Some of the partnerships I'm doing now are paying me bigger checks than my job is. I'm working with brands that kids with NIL deals are working with. I didn't even have to go to the NBA to get me an NIL deal. There's brands running my face everywhere. Delusion. You gotta be crazy. When you have faith and when you believe, you're somewhat crazy. Faith is believing in the things that you cannot see. Faith is believing in the things that you cannot see. You have to have a level of faith. So remember, if there's anything that I wanted to convey to you from this video, is to let them call you crazy. Be delusional. Shoot for the stars and land on the moon. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.